Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you can see it and you can purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. And today we're discussing a model that was new for 2018, launched at Baselworld. This is the Blancpain 50 Fathoms Bathyscaphe Complete Calendar, Quantieme Complet. It is a timepiece 43 millimeters in diameter and stainless steel. On my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, you can see the triple calendar moonphase essentially cuts the same figure as a standard reference 5000 Bathyscaphe. 43 millimeters in diameter, lug to lug, you're going to measure at 49.9 millimeters. In thickness, it's quite reasonable for a complication dive watch, only 13.4 millimeters thick, and the space between the lugs very modern, though it's a vintage-inspired watch in many ways. 23 millimeters between the lugs is beefy and contemporary, giving the watch a broad and planted stance on the wrist. Now, it's important to note that the Bathyscaphe, launched in 2013, was designed to be a bit of a stripped-down, somewhat more understated alternative to the glam rock high-polish 45 millimeter 50-15 50 Fathoms, and this watch does continue that mission. You can see the timepiece with a sailcloth strap, exactly what you'd find on any 50 Fathoms, bolstered down its center. It's very difficult to tear. Sailcloth is exceptionally resilient. A little bit of a folded edge profile, a monotone stitch, and then there's a vulcanized rubber underneath to provide souplesse against the skin and prevent that coarse textile from aggressing against your skin. The pin buckle is simple and elegant. Blancpain engraved, nicely satin finished with a few strong character lines. I like that they put some self-conscious design into that normally detail component. As I mentioned, this is a vintage-inspired look designed to appear stripped down compared to the large flowing compound curved volumes of the 50-15. Squared off lugs, minimally beveled. You have a flank that is all of satin finish. Indeed, the entire watch is of a muted satin finish. Vertical satin between the lugs, and then you can see more of that vintage inspiration. No crown guards for the Bathyscaphe. You have an oversized 1950 style big crown with deep sharp knurling. It's a screw down. The watch remains 300 meters water resistant in spite of the through case fittings for the pusher adjusters. Now you've got a bezel featuring ceramic insert. All of the indices and numerals are a sort of amorphous, non-crystalline liquid metal, as Swatch Group calls it, that bonds permanently to the ceramic, so they become one piece, they can never separate, and they're very scratch resistant. You also get a satin finished bezel that is unidirectional, rotating, and it's a dive bezel. Let's hear its detent. It's quite crisp. It's also considerably chunkier than the more refined rumble of the standard 50 Fathoms, which I feel is almost a bezel you can sense through your fingertips as much as you hear it. This one is much more vocal and much sharper. You'll also note that the dial is a lovely anthracite style sunburst, and it's nicely balanced. There is an annual calendar version of this watch with a single-sided tiered set of indications for the calendar. This one's not an annual, but it is better balanced. You could split it down the center and it would be symmetrical. You can see outboard, Blancpain gives pride of place to the hour indices. They are applique and high polished, and there's no interference between the lunette style pointer date and the hours and minutes because the two are separated. One is concentrically inboard of the other. There is a day and there is a month, and if you get close you can see that there are little faceted steps to the apertures to smooth the transition from the dial to the discs. There is a cobalt moon background that is a cosmos, forming a basis for a silvered moon and silver star. So you have that crescent moon phase with the cobalt metallic blue background and then the silvered features. So you have a triple calendar moon phase, all of it powered by an automatic caliber. This one is made for Blancpain by its now wholly controlled subsidiary Frederic Piguet. F. Frederic Piguet, still suppliers to some of the high-end brands in Swiss high horology, but these days officially manufacture Blancpain. Anti-magnetic with a silicone hairspring, free-sprung for shock resistance, beating away at 28,800 vibrations per hour, adjusted in 6 positions, one more than a standard chronometer with a 72-hour power reserve. It does feature that complete calendar. You'll note that there is mirrored anglage on every bridge edge, as well as in the jewel and screw countersinks. All of the screw heads are black polished with chamfered slots. There is a lovely satin graining across the bridges rather than a conventional Côte de Genève, and I find it to be both unique and attractive. You can see there's an engine-turned perlage on the base plate. So free-sprung silicone hairspring, 28/8 beat rate, 72-hour power reserve, complete calendar, 18-karat winding mass with satin-finished border channel, and then you can see blasted center, ceramic rotor bearings, unidirectional winding for additional efficiency. This is the caliber 665-4P, and it basically gives you all of the toys except one. It does not have hacking seconds, and that's really the only feature or flourish that it lacks. It's beautifully hand finished. It represents high horology and execution. It offers a panoply of options, including advanced features like the free-sprung architecture, 6-position adjustment, and the silicone hairspring. You can see this Blancpain 50 Fathoms Bathyscaphe, new for 2018, and make it yours on the watch box. The 50 Fathoms Bathyscaphe Complete Calendar by Night. A full-featured complete calendar moonphase by day, but no-nonsense sports watch, fully functional, unimpeded by its additional embellishments by night.